A little over 5 years ago, I was aghast by some of the stories and speculations coming out for the future of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and so much more. Little did I realize that 2020 would be the year kicking off a slew of corporate and political overreach with jamming and blasting of bad slop, woke ideology, and canceling any opposition or criticism to this new normal. It wasn't just the plandemic. It wasn't just President Autopin coming into office. It was the deliberate wussification of so many properties and retcons that completely changed the course of many beloved franchises. A dramatic uptick in streaming and digital access also paved the way for strategic corporate edits, omissions, and censorship, often subjectively applied from a neo-Marxist viewpoint, and complicit corporate executives attempting to bend over backwards to accommodate a small, shouting minority that ultimately had little interest in the product being produced. I was outraged. So many of these occurrences felt like a betrayal of the source material or foundation of where the franchise began. With the abysmal rollout of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, which had so much potential, fans began to realize Disney was more focused on playing the plot safe and shallow while hyping up sociopolitical views that weren't held by a majority of fans. And it doesn't make for good storytelling. Combining this with the admitted fact that they didn't start the new trilogy out with a game plan, and different directors played tug-of-war with the story direction and fates of the original characters, it ended up in disaster. If other franchises weren't already on track to head in this same direction at the time, Doctor Who, Marvel, Star Trek, and others quickly followed. With a new political administration in power in 2021, and corporate entities believing they had total control of the media consumed, it seemed inevitable that the large crowds of dissenting fans would be silenced through censorship, channel deletion, social cancellation, and being banned from various platforms. Earthworm Jim creator Doug TenNapel was one clear example of this when he questioned certain details of the 2020 election and began making political news commentary on his various channels. My video discussing that ban when Doug was exiled from YouTube was the most viewed video I posted at the start of this channel. Clearly there is a need for this kind of discussion. Tides began to turn back some after the satire experts at the Babylon Bee got banned from Twitter, and Elon Musk, a proponent of free speech, and one who enjoyed many of the Bee's humorous stories, got involved to purchase Twitter and restore their account, along with many others. More progress has been made in this culture war since then, and one of the largest impacts has been with viewers like you, who have simply refused to watch and buy a lot of these new productions and merchandise from these companies. Now we're seeing a shift in the culture war. And honestly, I'm not too optimistic Disney's plan to reboot the MCU in order to increase profits will be very effective when the rest of their rhetoric on sociopolitical matters refuses to change. At some point these characters may be avenged, but as it stands, this little channel is not suited to effectively be a Nerdvenger that garners the attention of these corporate owners for our beloved franchises. I still enjoy having my take on something that could have been done better, or speculating on how this series or that character could be positively portrayed in future releases. I also want to keep highlighting the good in some of these things, while pointing out why I've declined to watch some of these other blockbusters in a commentary on this aspect of the culture war. Yes, I'm planning to put more up, and I plan to leave those older videos up, cringe-worthy as they may be. However, my priorities have changed. Some may say there's been a maturing, and the focus of this channel will shift somewhat. There's still lots of garbage content coming out across so many platforms. and once admired franchises are still being dragged through the woke mind virus, often seasoned by people with a severe case of TDS. I want to highlight the good stuff out there. I want to find that rare new gem, or an old classic that people may have forgotten about. After all, there's over 100 years of movies out there, and we're coming up on the 100-year anniversary of the first talkie movie. Needless to say, there's a lot to choose from out there. Our task is to choose wisely. Thanks for watching.